Hello, you are listening to Dishing with Stephanie's Dish. I'm Stephanie Hansen, and I had an opportunity to go on a patio tour yesterday, and I think I should set the stage that, first of all, it is, May 25th, and in Minnesota, we have had, and I don't even think I'm exaggerating here, one legit patio day where it's been warm enough to like sit outside and enjoy yourself. It has been a very cool, rainy spring, and it hasn't really felt like patio weather. So my friends organized a patio tour for us to go out and see some of the new Twin Cities patios and experience them. And it was just cold. So we were out on a few patios with blankets. One person had a serious winter scarf on. I had a blazer that I was wishing I'd had more buttons on it, but honestly, it was chilly. But the patio tour itself was super fun. We started out at Revolution Hall in the mall at Rosedale. And I have just feelings about Revolution Hall because it's a food hall that's a commissary and it's 2 levels. It's in the mall. I like the idea of it, but it's not like I can imagine sort of going there just simply for the food environment. But then I go and I have a good experience and they do a nice job. So it's just conflicting for me because it's not like I go to the mall really as a destination to eat, but then I go and they do a good job with the food. So we started out and we had a Caesar salad, and they have a delicious Caesar salad there with pumpernickel croutons and these big fat dried cherries and just a really nice Caesar salad. They also have this thing that is at their Mexican restaurant there that's the 5-pound burrito. And I so did not want to like it because it's all laid out on this tray and it looks like stunt food. And I kind of love to hate stunt food, but I secretly love it anyway. And this was exactly how that was. Once we cut into that 5-pound burrito, and it was the rice and the black beans, and the pulled chicken was deliciously seasoned, and it had that flavor of tahini. And I was like, okay, I can't even hate on the 5-pound burrito because it's fun. And I could totally see going up to Rosedale with, 5 16-year-old boys and eating the 5-pound burrito in 2 seconds flat. And who am I kidding? I could probably eat a pound by myself. In any case, the other thing we had up there that was really good was we had some frosé, and they've got their chicken and waffles, which I've always liked. I think they do a nice thin waffle there that stays crispy, and then they put the fried chicken in it. So if you're a chicken and waffle person, I think that's fun. So we started out with that and got into a bus and kind of made our way through to some other patios in the Twin Cities. The next place that we went to was, I believe, Bardo, and Bardo is a restaurant in Northeast Minneapolis that I don't live in that neighborhood, and if I did, I would be there all the time. It is so, so delicious. It is Remy Pettis is his name. He's the chef and the owner of the restaurant. If I could describe it to you, it's kind of like Hyacinth in St. Paul, where it's neighborhood driven. The food is super delicious. They have a beautiful outdoor patio. He's got a little kitchen garden right outside the side door. In the wintertime, in that garden, they do this thing where you eat in the bar dome, and it's like a giant plastic dome, and they serve you inside the garden, inside this heated dome. So that's pretty fun. It is right over by Punch Pizza in Northeast, over by Surdyk's there. So the location is fantastic. And everything they do there is exceptional. They had a beautiful bucket of rosé when we arrived, and all of these rosés are rosés that you absolutely want to drink. They have such a good wine program there. Apparently, they have 3 sommeliers, all women coincidentally, that are sharing the duties. But that place, if you want to go somewhere and have a great wine recommendation, that is it. Also, we had some very delicious new kind of seasonal cocktails. They had one that was called the Mystic, which was cucumber, lavender, blueberry, lemon, aromatized wine, vodka, and bubbles. I always like a spring drink that has bubbles. There also was a drink that was called Provisionist, which was a Bardo bread infused syrup with brandy, and then they had a rotating shrub that they put in it. And then how about this drink, the Luminary, with banana liqueur, prickly pear puree, agave, tequila, lime, and mint. So bright and tropical. They really had some delicious drinks there. And the thing about Bardo is the food is very seasonal. So right now morels are seasonal, and you guys, they had these morels there that were stuffed with some kind of like a green pea puree. And honestly, they were like the best thing I'd eaten. They were so good. And they came decorated with a little chive blossom. They were so beautiful. And then we had, for happy hour, they're having a soft shell crab sandwich, which just had the most beautiful, glorious bun. The soft shell crab was perfectly fried. It was so delicious. They like to do lots of pastas at Bardo, and he just does a great job with the pastas there. Agnolotti is something they usually always have in the menu, but they make it seasonal. So right now it's a ricotta agnolotti with English pea, radish, and jalapeno and mint. That was just an incredibly beautiful dish. The Wild Acres duck that they're doing there had just the perfectly crispy skin. Honestly, Bardo is just a fantastic spot. So check that out. And then we went on to FEMA's, and FEMA's in that space that a lot of restaurants have been in downtown Minneapolis, but I really think they're making it work. And some of the food that they have there is just like, you can imagine sitting at David FEMA's table with his family and having these dishes. They have a beautiful gnocchi that's with rabbit that I love. They also have a pastry chef there that is just out of this world, and she made this deliciously beautiful sugar cookie. It was so thin with like a raspberry custard on it, and she had freeze-dried parts of the, or excuse me, it was a rhubarb custard, and she'd freeze-dried parts of the rhubarb, which just was like fruit leather. It was so delicious. And then the bartender, Sean, I believe his name is, made this drink that was on a paddle board, and they lit on fire some smoky chips, and then they stuck the glass over it, and then they put the glass right side up, and they put a sphere of Minnesota ice. Then they poured in a mixture of brandy, whiskey, bitters for their old fashioned, topped it off with a little orange zest. That was beautiful. And then they made another really nice drink that had rose petals in it. And while this is all going on, David's just bringing out plate after plate of food. They brought out a sea bass, which was just spectacular, that had mussels in it, a beautiful saffron sauce. He brought out some bone marrow that also had escargot served with sides of toast, and you sort of scoop out the bone marrow with the fresh made pesto and the escargot. That was just fantastic. I love that dish. And it was just, they really do a great job there. They have their own, they make their creme brulee and then they caramelize it tableside, which is kind of fun. They also have a dessert that's like a s'more that they torch tableside. A lot of torching goes on over there. And then, of course, don't forget that David has the sourdough starter that he has had in his family for a long time, and he brought it back. Just delicious sourdough pizzas that they made with the lardon of the bacon that was crispy, and that was really a delicious dish. So if you haven't been to FEMA's for a while, check it out. They are doing some fun stuff over there. And from there we went to Lat 14, which is a place that I have not been to yet. Jason Matheson loves it and has been talking about their fried rice forever. But they had just opened their beautiful patio, just planted all of their things. So it was so like beautiful to see all the plants and the freshness. And boy, talk about hospitality. They just really do it right. Everything from all of the spring drinks that they showed us to the garnishes on the drinks. Like one of the garnishes was a little teeny lavender flower that was clipped with like a little paper clip that was really cute. They had beautiful flowers. They had made these like seaweed crackers almost. She had been to Laos and seen their algae actually. And she had seen these farmers harvesting the algae, cleaning it, and then drying it. And so she brought that back and made it into a cracker with this fish paste that was delicious. Very beautiful just presentation of cut vegetables that she served with 3 different types of sauces. One was a roasted fish paste. The other one was a mushroom paste. And these are all just deliciously spiced Thai, just gorgeous morsels. And then she brought out the fried rice, and the fried rice was spectacular, but it got even better than that for me because the next bowl was a new item that they have on their spring menu, which was a green curry bowl, and it had noodles for slurping, and it was a cold day and we're sitting out on this patio. You guys, I could have just eaten that entire bowl. It had fresh peas, it had asparagus, it had broccoli, just all these bright green vegetables in that delicious green coconut curry. Oh, it was so good with chicken. Chicken thighs were in there too. I just loved that dish. And then we got back into the bus and came back. But it was a super fun afternoon of just checking out some new patios. What Ann told me at Lat 14 is that the patio there, that there's only, I think she said, one other patio in Golden Valley. So she wants to be the patio in Golden Valley. And I think she is clearly on her way. Later on that night, I got home and of course my husband hadn't eaten and I was so full because I'd basically eaten for 4 hours. So we walked up to the Fitz, which is new. It is the old Fitzgerald's, which is next to Red Cow at Selby Dale, kitty corner from Debbie Way Frost. And this is a Justin Sutherland restaurant. It is one of the restaurants that he took over when he bought the Madison Group. And the Fitz, people liked it. It was a real neighborhood spot. It was kind of dark inside it, but they went in and painted everything white, lightened it up, added some plants, some different lighting. It's always had a great bar at the Fitz, a big, huge granite bar, actually. And this was a Wednesday night, and we went in there, and it was crowded with people from the neighborhood, and they've turned it into a pizza spot. So they had like a great list of appetizers, including a coconut shrimp that just looked amazing. Wings, I think they had a nacho on there, and like maybe some ribs. And then they had a bunch of pizzas, and the pizzas, they've got 3 deep dish and the rest are sort of a thinner home style crust. And they were really, really good. I was very pleasantly surprised with the pizza. I'm looking forward to going back and trying the deep dish. My husband is not a deep dish person, so I couldn't talk him into it. But I think the next time I'm alone, I'm just going to go up there and sit at the bar. They had a great beer selection, a lot of interesting wines, and I'm going to just get a deep dish pizza by myself because I don't have a problem with that. And anyway, it just feels like a nice neighborhood bar. There's lots of TVs. From there, we left and we were walking home and we found 2 Lime scooters. And I have not scooted before. So we fired up the scooters. It's not a very far walk to our house, but got on the scooters and scooted home. And I have to admit, it was fun. Though I felt like I for sure needed a helmet, and they tell you should have a helmet, but who's walking around with helmets? The city of St. Paul isn't the best with their pothole repair. So you really have to be careful because if you hit one of them going reasonably fast on these scooters, that would be dangerous. The scooters are fun. They go faster than you think. And I really, I kind of rolled my eyes at them all the time because they're just laying around the city, but it is fun. I did enjoy hopping on the scooter and coming home, and I can see myself scooting to the light rail or doing that again. So that was food for this week. I'm going to be heading to a great trip. I'm actually going to France and to Spain for the next couple of weeks, and there's going to be a massive amount of eating that's going to happen. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and I'll catch you up on all of the eating that's happening in Europe. We are renting a houseboat for a week, so we're going to be captaining that. So I'll tell you what it's like to captain a boat going through the locks when you're a crazy American from Minnesota who's never done that before. And just look forward to bringing you some of our European stories, which are bound to happen because I'm going with my aunt and uncle who are fantastic. And my uncle actually is really into food, loves wine, has traveled a lot around France. So I probably will do a podcast with him just to give you a little bit of a sense of what it's like to travel with them. My Aunt Karen and my Uncle Paul, we've traveled with them through Croatia, through Italy, and this will be France and Spain. So we're looking forward to it. Have a great week, everybody, and happy Memorial Day. If you are in the service or someone in your family is, thank you for your sacrifices. I know that we sort of treat this as like the glorious grilling holiday, but underneath it all, I personally am thankful for your service. Have a great day.